Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Just a reminder the Botana oil is on sale until April 11th, 30% off. Make sure you use promo code everything Botana 30 if you're using Etsy or Shopify. If you are using TikTok, you should get an automatic discount. So grab it while you can. So, y'all, one thing I did say is I would show some of those videos that are coming out of Iran. And let me tell you something. When it comes down to the PR war, Iran is definitely winning hands down. They are using Legos to respond to the US. Now, how did this all start? Donald Trump. Donald Trump was putting propaganda out against Iran, and that's what kicked off this war. But Iran, I tell you what, whoever they got doing these videos, they are top notch. Whoever's doing the videos for the United States need more schooling. Let me just put it that way. You need more schooling. So let's take a look. This is one that came out yesterday. I tell you what, the one that made me laugh the hardest was the one they did on Pete Hegseth. Boy, they didn't leave nothing out. And they did one on Donald Trump. And you know that bruise on Donald Trump's hand that he's been trying to cover up? They had him as a little Lego man with a bandage across his hand. I said, boy, they got these people down to a T. You can tell they really studied Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, Caroline Levitt, all of them. They studied every last one because they got them down to a T for real. So let me show you this video that came out on the 8th from Iran. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Yeah, and I love how they have so much rap music. I said I didn't realize the Iranians love rap music. They got a lot of rap music in these, and I think one is reggae, and some of it is, of course, part of their culture, but a big chunk of it is rap music. Thank you, everybody.
Nah. You tweet another threat, another fake attack, but we all know why your portfolio's flat. You need the market to drop, need the oil to crash, then you buy at the bottom, flip it for cash. You don't want a war, you want the price to fall. Fake news on Truth Social, that's your only call. You scream, open the straight, but why though? So your rich friends short and watch the money flow. Fake tweet, fake news, fake hope, fake clock. Your whole game's a joke, make it stop. You crash the world, then you buy the dip. Fake war, fake tears from your fake lip. You ain't a president, you're a traitor in disguise. Fake fear in people's eyes, that's your prize. Iran's still here, the strait's still closed. Fake clown exposed, decompose. You give a few hours, fake threat. You ain't a leader, you're a loser with debt. You want the market to bleed so you can drink it, but your own people sing while you sit and think it. Should I tweet again? Should I make them cry? Bro, your whole economy's a beautiful lie. You hit Iran, the whole region goes dark and your own ship stop. Who lights the spark? Fake power, fake muscle, fake bite, fake bark. Your best was 2 bridges in a city park. Now sit on your throne made of gold and shame. You played with fire, now watch your own flame. Fake hope, fake dope, fake rope, fake slow. You're choking on the lies, no way to cope. Fake allies, fake cries, fake skies, fake lies. 1 tree from you and your own empire dies. You try to scare us for a market swing. Now watch your whole world burn. No song to sing. Fake traitor, fake president, fake king. Happy Tuesday. Nobody clapped for anything.
Y'all, this part had me funny. They got the toilet paper. They got the toilet paper like it's hitched on to Donald Trump's pants. They got the so they know about Donald Trump and them diapers. I know that is a jab right there. That's the part that had me laughing. I was like, "Oh shoot, they even got the toilet paper." Oh man. And they come out with a new one virtually every day. They got a new one every single day. That's why and I think Donald Trump and them know the PR coming out of Iran is way better than what's coming out of the US. And it just goes to show you, high IQ schooling and all that, and these people are still inadequate at the end of the day. And yeah, he loves McDonald's, right? So that's what I'm saying. They studied everything about these folks. Everything. And they're putting it in these videos. They even got the Epstein files in a couple of them. Oh yeah, they're really going all out. You had a line dancing. Yeah, the Lego line dancing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, y'all. So let's talk about the real reason why we are here. We are here because they are trying to force our young people into a draft, whether they like it or not. So, starting in December of 2026, there's no more filling out a card for selective service. Now they are going to do what's called an automatic military draft. So if you're between 18 to 25 years old, whether you want to or not, you will be put in this system for an automatic draft. So if a war breaks out, all they got to do is get you. That's it. So December 2026 is when this will begin. So so if you got kids or grandkids that age, just let them know they're going to be part of a draft. Yeah, if you go back to the video I did on an exemption, that's what you want to go with. Just go back to that video. So yes, you can get um, an exemption. And yeah, you can say you don't believe in the war or it's for religious purposes and they got to get you. Even if you're in the middle of combat, they got to go out there and get you off of the battlefield. So, no, Barron. Yeah, people are bringing up Barron. you know? So does that mean Barron got to register? He's part of the automatic draft, but we know how these lame ass folks will set this up. It'll be everybody getting an automatic draft except for the rich people and their children. They're going to probably make sure they are exempt from this system. And they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be at all. But we know how they roll up in here. It'll be all kinds of people with exceptions, and their kids won't get automatically draft, but yours will, though. Yours will. So let me go ahead and I will share my screen. Thank you, everybody. All right. So, man, I don't think this would happen if he didn't get into this war with Iran. And they already know people are not running to no recruiting office over this war Donald Trump's having with Iran. And yeah, so now they're going to resort to forcing the hand of your 18 to 25-year-old to be part of this draft. Thank you for the ones.
So apparently, if you are a U.S. man over the age of 18, you are automatically registered to draft for war. The U.S. has officially made it to where you're automatically in the running to be drafted for war. According to The Hill, eligible men will automatically be registered into the military draft pool by December as part of an effort to streamline the previous process of self-registration and save money. The Selective Service system, the government agency that maintains a database of men to be called up to serve in the case of a national emergency, submitted a proposed rule to the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs on March 30th, according to office's website. So what does that mean for the future of our U.S. men?
Let me jog your memory. Do you remember in December of 2025 how we were getting a little bit concerned because they were talking about a draft and selective service that men are going to have to sign up? The reason we were concerned was because Donald Trump just signed the 2026 National Defense Authorization Act, which detailed this very same thing, that automatic registration for U.S. military draft eligible men is to begin in December. Well, it wasn't December of 2025. It's going to happen this year of 2026. But I just wanted to give you a brief update of what this means to you, your children, your loved ones. First of all, selective service is for men only. It is from ages 18 to 25. Here's the very interesting part. It is for U.S. citizens and also immigrants. It does not state if it's a non-resident or a legal resident. I believe we have more than enough video footage when the administration was asked, what do you mean immigrants? Is it going to be legal or non-residents? Are you going to do anything special for them if they do sign up and they just play on words? After this law is fully implemented and you become 18, you have 30 days to sign up for selective service. If you fail to register, you can face serious consequences, such as being ineligible for any federal programs. That can mean the Pell Grant, student loans. You may have to pay a fine up to $250,000, or you can spend 5 years in jail. Do you see how this news might be hitting a lot closer to home? What do you think about this? Inquiring minds want to know.
Shout out to my old heads. So I seen on the Twitter that they saying they finna start drafting motherfuckers that's 18 through 25. This is for the niggas. Y'all automatically getting drafted and put on that motherfucking list. So thank God I'm not telling my age, but bitch, I'm not getting motherfucking drafted with you hoes. Either way I go, even if I was a YN, I still wouldn't go. Bitch, I'm hiding in the trunk. I'm hiding somewhere. Bitch, y'all can't make me go fight for a fucking country that don't give a fuck about me. I'm supposed to go out there and go get on the battlefield for Trump. It's the fact that them hoes say y'all automatically It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, even if, like, it's like, okay, well, come bring your ass. Come on, we need more of y'all hoes because motherfuckers not signing up. So we need to start picking bitches out the crowd. Like, what? That's insane.
So it has just came out that men ranging from 18 to 25 will automatically be registered to be drafted into the military. And it's just so crazy that y'all can automatically register people for the military, but cannot automatically register people to vote. And honestly, I feel like everyone who voted for Trump should be picked first. And this will be taking place at the end of this year in December. And I understand this has been happening, but it's the fact of now that it's automatically happening before anything. And I understand it's been required by law that when you turn 18, you have to register for the military. But now they are just automatically registering people to do it as soon as they turn 18. And how is that fair? Even if you're trying to force somebody to do something that they don't want to do. And if I'm being honest, I don't think it will end well. They could literally force every Black person to do it, or something much worse could happen, like a revolution. How would you feel if that was your child that automatically had to go fight for a war that they didn't want to fight for? But this is exactly what people voted for. But y'all saw up and down that Kamala Harris was going to be so emotional and start a war and send everybody to the military. But no, this administration is doing that.
It just said eligible young men will be automatically registered for the draft later this year. That shit crazy.
Automatic registration for the U.S. military draft begins later this year. Most men will be automatically put into the Selective Service system within 30 days of their 18th birthday, starting in December. Originally, men between the ages of 18 and 25 were required to register themselves. The SSS claims this change is meant to save taxpayer money and streamline the process. Women are still ineligible for the draft.
Breaking news coming out of the USA, the automatic registration for the United States military draft will begin in December of 2026, and most likely this will affect males from the age of 18 to 25. Let's go over the specifics and discuss. So beginning December 18th, the Selective Service system will automatically register eligible men, U.S. citizens and residents age 18 to 25 for the military draft using federal data from the Social Security Administration and the Department of Motor Vehicles. This shift from self-registration to automated registration, mandated by the fiscal year 2026 National Defense Authorization Act, aims to improve compliance and equity while reducing costs, according to proponents. Now, this is not a new draft, right? This law does not create a new military draft. It only updates the registration process for a potential future Congress-authorized draft. Automatic process. This SSS will register individuals automatically, likely within 30 days of their 18th birthday, using data from other federal agencies. So before, you had to register for the military draft, right? You had to register for the SSS, but now you will be automatically registered. Once you turn 18, 30 days after your 18th birthday, most likely you're going to start getting registered up until the age of 25. Now, until then, until December 18th, registration is still required. The current self-registration requirement remains. Data usage. The system uses records from, as I mentioned, SSA and DMV data to ensure compliance. And the reason for the change is that it aims to address a decline in registration rates since 2020 and ensures all men are registered. Applicability. This remains applicable only to men aged 18 and 25. Women are not currently included in the draft registration, despite discussions in the past. So much for equality. I know the feminists are going to be upset about this one. Consequences of non-registration. Failure to register previously or after this change can still result in penalties, including ineligibility for federal employment and student loans. This update aims to ensure a more complete database, as the previous system of self-registration was often overlooked, particularly affecting lower socioeconomic populations. Now, let me know what you all think about this. I personally believe the timing is convenient. All right. I believe the timing of all of this is convenient with everything that's going on. And we're starting to see members of the House of Representatives, as well as other American leaders and politicians, starting to speak out against President Trump. But all the while, they are doing things to supposedly save money and get people registered, right? Whether they register on their own or not, they're going to get you registered either way. So is this for what's going on in Iran? Did they see a longer gain, or is this for something more sinister taking place in the future, right? I don't know. But if you are between the ages of 18 and 25 and a man or a woman, let me know what you think about this. If you are a feminist, are you mad that you won't be automatically registered for the draft. If you are 18 to 25 years old living in America, how do you feel about this? Are you happy? Are you sad? Do you feel like you got to do what you got to do? You're not worried? Let me know in the comments, y'all. This 12 a.m., April 9th, 2026. Follow me for more updates, breaking news, think pieces, and beyond.
The U.S. military will automatically register eligible men for the Selective Service draft system later this year. Previously, the onus was on men to register themselves. The Selective Service system, or military draft, was established in 1917 by President Woodrow Wilson after the U.S. entered World War I. Under federal law, most males between 18 and 25 years old are required to register with the Selective Service system in case Congress and the President authorize a military draft. Currently, they have to self-register within 30 days of their 18th birthday. They're allowed to register late without penalty until they turn 26. Failure to register is considered a crime that could disqualify you from student loans, most federal jobs, and U.S. citizenship for immigrants, stars and stripes reports. Women are still exempt from registering. A new rule passed by Congress last year will automatically register eligible men in the system, which transfers responsibility for registration from individual men to SSS through integration with federal data sources, according to the Selective Service System's website. Draft registration has declined in recent years, according to the Military Times, in part because federal student loans forms removed the option to register in 2026. According to the Selective Service System, automatic registration will be in place by December 2026. The U.S. has drafted soldiers to fight in the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. The country ended conscription and moved to an all-voluntary military in 1975, but President Jimmy Carter brought back registration for the draft in 1980 when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan.
Not that I really believe that our votes actually do anything, but the way to get rid of demographic of people that you don't want to vote against you because you know you'll never get their vote is to eliminate them. And besides the women thing, it's crazy is that instead of being able to have people to protect our future, which is literally the young people of the world, let's just have them automatically drafted into a war that we already started, that we know there's going to be hella conflict from. Yeah, just sit with that thought.
So, y'all, that's what concerns me. I think what they'll try to do is claim this is going to be done to everybody, but when the war is still going on, and I think the reason why they're doing this is because they're anticipating this war is going to go on all through 2026 and beyond. And they know they're going to have a lot of casualties. So that's why they're doing this. And they're going to handpick our children, our melanated children, to be the ones on the front line. That's what I think they will do. And then try to sit around and pretend like, oh no, this is random. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. In order for them to automatically register you, they already know everything about you. They know where you are, where you live, what race you are, how old you are. They already got all the information they want about you. So it would be nothing for their system to handpick a bunch of our melanated 18 to 25-year-old men and throw them in there on the front line first. It would be nothing for them to do that. I don't trust anything that the Trump administration sets up. I don't trust nothing they're setting up. It's okay to throw our people out of the military, but when it comes down to losing their lives, it's okay to utilize them then. These people are full of shit like that. So, one thing we got on our side, we can come together and all collectively say no when that time comes. Let these rich people send their kids. They always getting out of everything. Let them send their kids. And MAGA, all the people that are still cheering, because some of them are still cheering on Donald Trump. Y'all should go. You shouldn't be refusing anything. Y'all should be the biggest group out there, MAGA. Y'all should be nobody should be bigger out there than you when it comes down to a draft. So y'all, unbelievable what these folks are doing. Libra goals, thank you so much for your support for my channel. Keep up the good work, Lisa. I have been listening for over 8 years, and thank you for your support, and thank you for always listening in. I deeply appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I would not be surprised if they try to pull a fast one. See, it'll be DEI, but if they have to initiate this draft, watch how all that DEI talk will go away. Watch how fast it will fizzle out and you won't hear it anymore. You just watch. I know how these demons operate. Tempest 78, thank you so much for the super chat. Pray for the Most High's protection over all Hebrew men. Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you for your support for my channel. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody, at this point, yeah, if they don't try to force a draft, nobody's going to sign up and fight on the behalf of Donald Trump. Who's going to do that? Nobody. Nobody's going to do that for him. Are you are you crazy? Mhm. Yeah, Chris G, they start all the damn wars and our people fight in all the wars and still can't get treated right. Mm-mm. And I'm just glad a lot of our young people are speaking up online because many of them are bringing up the fact, look, we don't even get treated right up in here, but you want us to fight for a country that don't even like us? Yeah, a lot of them are speaking up, and I'm glad they are. That is a perfect point, you know, and it's definitely one you can use on the Trump administration, getting rid of black men over razor bumps and talking about DEI and getting rid of the melanated generals, using DEI as an excuse, refusing to promote our people when they were eligible for promotion to be a one-star general. They've done all kinds of things, getting our stuff out of the museums because they don't want the history taught. No, we can make a lot of points refusing to give us our reparations. How come you can do an automatic draft, but you can't do an automatic reparations for us? If you can do an automatic draft, then you know who everybody is in this country. That means you can go in your system and find anybody you want to find. So you should use the system to automatically give us our reparations. Know what I mean? So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support, and be on the lookout for my next live. Shalom, family.